time. They needed to reset because they just didn't look like themselves. We talk about them being this normally, you know, high-flying confidence team that is just fueled with aggression. They weren't there.
Not sure where it was, to be honest. They had the eco round win in the third round. They were hyped, excited to go into the next one, and then they got instantly reset. And that was really the story for CLG Red on their T side of Mirage. They'd win a round, be harsh reset back down to that $1,400 round loss bonus, and they were never able to get the ball rolling. But the only thing rolling right now is CLG Red as they come charging in towards Nuke. Kath with the first. She's been so influential so far for Dignitas as Rein chimes in with one. And look at them just going hungry for the frags as they are filled with confidence.
Goose Breeder, the only remaining member, is down once again. It's another Digna bash round as they bang them out of the server instantly there, Snods, getting the opening round. It's ridiculous. They've been able to do this consistently every time the Pistols have gone in their favor this entire series, and they're looking to try and keep that trend running if they can find the conversion here again.
Imagine how this feels as well for Kath to be swapped from CLG Red to Dignitas, replaced by Goose Breeder, the former Intel Challenge 2018 MVP in the grand final when Dignitas took it. And now, ironically, it seems like Kath may be taking the MVP here if Dig do take this. Smoke in toward Credit Card, trying to see if she can force the peek from a player, if there was one there. Instead, though, 3 players towards the B half of the map. 1 ramp, 2 towards Heaven. And speaking of Heaven, Emulite's going to get sent there directly by Jennifer. Org at long range, this is where the weapon thrives, as they're still peeking into her, but thankfully it actually does pay off with the right-eyed peek. Artstar, elevated angle here, finds 2. Can't quite get the third, and now it's all down to Rein in the 1 versus 2. But they don't know where she is.
You have to try and scope it out. Rein tiptoeing back around. CLG Red in a position here where they might actually get one on the board. However, they've taken a bit of damage. They do have armor, they do have firepower. It's just ever so slightly worse. Rein has the famous and she wants to try and make herself famous, but no, it'll be Emmy with the deagle. Finds the headshot on the flick up. They go 1-1. CLG Red, they've had enough. They're back into it, Snods.
1-1 then. CLG Red with the force by take it. Jennifer being very impactful there with the deagle outside, able to get the frag towards the AC unit just below Heaven. And that, for me, was the kill to make the round happen, allowing for the 2 players to funnel in towards A main, get the trade frag onto Artstar, who was on top of Hut. That was the kill that set up the rest of the round for CLG Red, but they have to set themselves up for the half. They need to win this one convincingly, having 4 players staying alive, be able to build up that money, as that was the crux of their defeat in the last half, and the last map being unable to build up any momentum or economy. Emulite doesn't land the tag. Does get spotted with a scout now as she does go up the ladder towards Heaven. Jennifer hesitant to go through the A main position. Instead, just going to play it slow, play it calculated, use their utility to their advantage, and flush out the peaks.
Curious about Kath's position here. Looks like she is just going to be holding the angle with a taser. Switch back to the USP. She can deny the bomb plant, the flick back around as well. Benita did charge through. There was a timeline where she might have made the round a bit more electrifying. Instead, her pulse is going to flatline. Diane will be the one to take her down. 2-1 now, CLG Red adding to the tally. It wasn't just a flash in a pan. The fight is still in them. Dignitas don't really have anything to work with into this round rather than just those USPs.
Finally seeing CLG Red win 2 rounds consecutively. Something that cannot be said for the last map. Diane on towards Sala with the MP5. Not really the best weapon for this position, but if she can drop in towards A main, she'll be greeted by 2 USPs with no armor. Instead, though, Dignitas going for the crunch in towards T main. Benita has the bomb just behind her, so she can't afford to die in that fashion, but thankfully Goose Breeder is above her on the scoreboard as well as she finds 2. Just Rein now last alive, hoping to maybe get a kill here, find some additional cash to allow herself to maybe get an extra flashbang, extra smoke in that next buy round.
Anything adds to the extra economy they could have brought through, but it was not meant to be. Jennifer, very simple frag with the FAMAS. Now the game starts to begin anew. Here's where they actually really have firepower. The inventory is going to be invested into. So we've only got the one AUG coming out, but it is on the classic member, of course, Kaf, the person that has been dealing the most damage with the AUG this entire tournament by far. Head and shoulders above the competition with the weapon, as she's just on a bit of a tear with it. Actually, 2 Silence M4s in play as well. So some specialist weapons coming through as that's been dropped over to Emulate, and Artstar is going to be rocking one as per usual. Benita might be walking into her own demise, backs up, was unaware of Milk's position as she carries it on, diving back through, allowing these frags to quickly start to rack up. Jennifer, a tasty shot, but it was just the one. There's the trades, and another round for Dig.
CLG Red able to invest into this round. 4 AKs, AWP for Diane. This is where CLG Red are at their best. With their in-game leader on the AWP. Last year, Benita was cooling. This year, that mantle has changed hands. Boosted. Diane going for the peaks, trying to see if she can isolate what she expected was Emulete's AWP. Instead, though, Dignitas not having the cash yet to invest into it, or maybe not even needing to. Emulate playing the passive angle towards the blue box outside, so she can spot the cross towards Secret. Oh no, actually, apologies. Thanks to the 2D or 3D map, she's actually towards the lower steps, Jack, and she may get the drop on a few players here from the Secret stairs.
Well, just as you say that, the Molotov comes back through and stops her from being able to advance and get into a position where she could potentially deny this play. And Diane, on the aggression, gets that initial kill. Kaf goes down. Emulate finds the first. Confident to go for the refrag as well and actually picks it up. Achieves the double kill. Milk now feeling herself off the back of that one. Is hungry for it. They're all pushing through. Even there, that's pretty much unnecessary confidence coming through to go for a play like that. But they call the shots. And it works out tremendously well. They had support. There always would have been the trade. But they didn't even need to go for the trades, Nods. The raw frags are just being found across the board. In a matter of seconds, we're tied back up. 3-3.
Pause immediately. CLG Red used them very early on in the last map, and they had to, as they were down 12-4 at one point, and this is going to be their first tactical timeout. What can they change? Diane, it must be so frustrating for her as the in-game leader and AWPer because she's done her job. She's worked the pick, she's spotted out Kath there towards the CT stairs by CT spawn, made it the 4 versus 5, and all her team has to do there is hold. Amy has to hold towards the secret stairs. The remaining players in towards lobby have to hold for the aggression from the CT side, and then they can group up together, utilize the fact it's a 5 versus 4, trade the frags on towards the A site, potentially through A main and through huts, and the round would have been theirs. Instead, Dignitas make the correct play. They lose a player early. They know that they need to make a proactive play after being in the deficit. They push in towards lobby, find 2 kills. Emily has the drop on Emmy and Diane with a double kill with the Silence Them 4. In a matter of seconds, it goes from a 5 versus 4 to a 1 versus 4.
You can see the conversation going on there, trying to adjust. There's been a lot of back and forth from Emmy as well. Possibly trying to look to that input to see if they can let her off the leash a little bit more, try and send her in, see what she can do in terms of damage, because she was the player that got countless entry frags and was able to open up the sights in a lot of the games where CLG Red found their initial momentum. She's such a big set piece to the team. We just have to see if maybe she can revitalize herself once again. We're back into it, Snods. Round 7. This should be a bit of a doozy for Dignitas. They have the much better buy. CLG Red do have the investment into the pistols, and it looks like they're just going to go for the default early on.
Default indeed, but it's only default weaponry as they're going to be on the full eco. Easy kills here for Artstar. Kath with 2. Benita, the remaining player here for CLG Red. They know exactly where she is. Dead is the answer to that question. 4-3. Dignitas with 2 in a row, now with the lead by 1. Diane dropped the AWP by Goose Breeder. Now then, for CLG Red, what do they change? Are they going to go for the smokes towards outside, try funnel themselves down secret stairs and go for more of a set-piece play? Because so far playing loose and trying to play dynamic and on the fly has always played in the hands of Dig.
Jennifer trying to make milk go off by increasing the temperature of the fridge there. Doesn't work out too well. She extinguished it with a smoke, just going to be holding on, sick in the meantime, behind CT Red as the aggression does come through. Emmy, this is what we need to see, but they don't realise they needed eyes in the back of their heads to counter that play because Calf just runs straight through. Jennifer needs to go for the face knock. She's been in the elevated angle the entire time. She could have saved the round there. As soon as they got the first contact, they must have been confused on the call. They might have not known the position was the close angle because there was no response.
CLG look lost here. 1 versus 3. Emily is low, easily dispatched of by Jennifer. Bomb in her possession, which will help going forward, but Artstar playing the off angle towards the CT vent. She's played here almost every round, so it should be expected. But Rein can instantly trade the kill, and she's gonna have to as the peek comes in. Rein takes it. Look at the positioning there from Dignitas. If Rein had contact towards Garage, Artstar can swing from T-Main. As soon as Artstar goes down towards T-Main, Rein swings from Heaven. Very, very well played there from Dignitas, and I can't say the same for CLG Red. Jennifer, on top of Silo, doesn't go for the trade frag onto Kath. Maybe she was expecting an AWP or something towards Garage. That would be holding for her. Even so, it's going to be 5 now for Dig, and Kath, we've seen this so many times in Mirage. Kath with the scoped weapon, scoping down her opposition as she annihilates 2.
Artstar as well with the flamboyant finish towards the end. The big old blue spruce coming back out with the XM10. And there is some damage done and a bit of extra cash wired over. Dignitas, 3-round lead now. Finally, there is money to spend. We do actually see the Krieg being donned, the cousin under the stairs to the Org. And Emmy will be the one that's rocking it.
Able to play towards the close up with the shotgun. Kath, I believe that was A-main in towards Squeaky Door. Benita went for the peek for the frag. But instead the entry goes in favor of the CTs, and so far this map has 2. Emily playing now towards the CT vent. She has the right side peek here, so she's going to spot Diane first. And will shoot first for the kill. 5 versus 3. CLG Red just falling 1 by 1 like dominoes.
The 3 Musketeers that remain on the side of CLG are going to be backing up and walking around. Unfortunately, they might go straight into Artstar. Clutching on. Waiting to try and put a barrel in their mouths. But instead, they opt to go towards ramp. Rein playing around the box, goes for the cha-cha slide, hits them both down. And it's just Emmy that remains. Krieg in hand, quaking in her boots as she turns down. Gets the first, but she's so low off the amount of damage from the initial confrontation. She's trapped, pent in. The nade will row behind. And that is going to be the kill. Dignitas, 7-3. Another pause coming in. You can only imagine this will be CLG Red taking another timeout to talk about things, as the T side just is not working.
Once again, we see CLG Red falling behind in this race for the Intel Challenge Championship. Second time out going to be utilized by CLG Red. Again, the discussion to be had here between the 5 players, and most importantly, the coach, who is the vocal one now you can see on our screens. Kath again, 14 kills after 10 rounds have been played, 14-5. This has been the performance of a lifetime.
Yeah, she has looked unreal the entire event, especially when you give her an AUG. That's where the majority of the damage has been stemming from. But it's the trifecta as well, with Rein and Milk working always as a dynamic duo, like a well-oiled machine. The synergy's been between those two for the most part on every game we've witnessed. Elite's been crushing it with the AWP and Artstar for those clutch rounds. For CLG Red, we're seeing small moments. It's not enough. We don't have all of the players stepping up at once. That's the key difference, Nods. And for their play style as well, we need more of them to be giving that assistance out. Right now, it really is only just Jennifer into this map. 10 kills to her name. They've got the AKs back. Another Krieg buy for Emmy as well. No AWP as the economy wouldn't allow it. But they do have utility. More importantly, they have smokes.
I see them. They have smokes, but they've also got a Galil for Diane. SG coming out from Emmy. We've seen it a few times on their T side defaults. But again, it's the default. There isn't really a fast strategy going to be called early on for smokes towards lower, or doing something to make Dignitas react. When you don't throw the smokes towards outside, it means that an additional player can stay towards the A side. They don't have to rotate down the vent to hold B. Because of that, Dignitas have an additional player on the A side, which adds to the crossfires, adds to the defense. And CLG Red are probably wondering why this A site is so impenetrable, when in reality, they're doing nothing across the map to force any pressure for Dig to budge. I hear smokes going off, so maybe they can hear me, Jack. Obviously, that is a joke, but maybe they can hear my call to see some good and competitive matches, because what a shame it would be if this grand final was a simple blowout, 16-4, and again, a similar affair in this matchup. So let's hope that CLG Red can come back into this one, make it competitive, and give us the best grand final possible.
30 seconds on the clock. They have slipped down through Secret. They are in a position to get that bomb planted as the whole team converges round. However, Rein, she could deny it all right here. That bomb's got to come out, and there we go. That should probably be the round secured already. It's dropped. However, Jennifer with a flick up, 10 seconds. They have to make the play. It was the call to go for the aggressive stance. They leave them into a 2 versus 3. Emmy comes around back through the econ, but they can't plant now. Artstar, if she just survives, she's going to be able to get the round. She can bail out of there through the vent. Dignitas, another round, getting themselves an 8th Snods. The chaos was too much.
5-round lead now for Dig. Bomb planted, so the cash is far from ideal. Benita going to be the sole investment here. I like to call this the CIS force buy, where one player invests into the AK, everyone else ecos or just quasis, and then you swap that AK around based off of, well, when she dies. And now Goose Breeder can retrieve the fallen weapon, and the game of Pass the Parcel continues.
Emulate taking the shot there, trying to get a connection out with the AWP. But she has the read at the very least. The teammates still doing work to pick off their opponents as they slowly ascend in. Jennifer could make a bit of a play here. It could be glorious. It just depends on if Emulate's ready for it. And of course she is, as per usual. Gets the flick up. And it all falls onto Emmy. 1 versus 4. Gets the quick adjustment there onto the vent player. Milk is down and out. Scurries off with the M4, but in reality, Snods, 1 versus 3 with 54 seconds on the clock. It is going to be an awkward task. And look how far away the bomb is as well.
No bomb, as you mentioned, 40 seconds on the clock. 50 HP, so 2 shots from that AK will give Dignitas their 9th round. And to be honest, I think it's going to go in that way. So much time being wasted. All these peaks are so futile as there's no one here from Dignitas as the clock slowly dwindles down to 0, as does her potential to win. Spots out the gun barrel from Dignitas. Artstar, but 9-3. No third pause going to be used here as CLG Red go quietly into the night.
The change now is Diane actually getting out the They do have that one external factor. Maybe this could be what changes the playstyle a little bit. Take the fight towards outside. You know you can get secret control. We've seen that with a smoke take. They've been able to slide in. Just last time in terms of the commotion, it all went wrong. They sent the bomb out through a window. And Rein was the factor that just denied the entire round. This time they're trying it again. Diane in the elevated angle up on top of the silo. She is looking for the peaks. A little bit paranoid as well about the secret push. That one round was all it took for that to be harboring in their minds, Snods, as a seed of doubt into these rounds now, wasting so much more time with the extra amount of angles they have to clear and be paranoid about.
Smokes again towards the outside site. And already rotation has been made. Kath is now towards B. And this is the rotation I was speaking about, Jack, forcing the smokes outside to change the defense. Oh, Artstar's here as well. This is perfect now from CLG Red. For a second there, my heart flashed, and so did Diane's, but she was able to land the close quickscope with the orb. The bomb going to be going down, but not for long. This is going to be interrupted by Rein. 30 seconds remaining here, and there you have it. Kath with the final frag. 10-3 here, Jack. 7-round lead for Dignitas going into the latter portion of this first half, and I don't know if there's going to be much left of it in the second.
No, it doesn't seem like it, as it's already been going wrong. A lot of these rounds have been fairly awkward, and Dignitas just dominating, 10 rounds secured. And we are going to have a technical pause coming through as well whilst they try and adjust and fix things. Obviously, for the meantime, they need to resolve their issues, but not only with their computer problems with the team, Snods. It's the T side that's just struggling for them. They haven't been able to get any map control for the most part towards outside. We've seen a couple of attempts, a little bit of, you know, ingenuity here and there, but they need to sprinkle something new and some new ideas potentially.
Pause again, as you mentioned, and do you know which team it's from, Jack?
I think it's the CLG issue, mate. That was what it was. I'm pretty sure it's Goose Breeder's PC again, from what I could see.
I think CLG's issues go deeper than just the computer, because the last map, it was 12-4. This one could be shaping up for deja vu again at this rate. Kath starting to slow down though, 15 kills for her, but it was more so the fact that at that 6-3 point in the matchup, to have 14 kills is just incredible.
Well, it looks like we should be able to carry on with the action now. Round 14, as we delve back in. It's a 10-3 scoreline. There is no AWP in play. They had the one chance with it, and it didn't really work out for CLG Red. Now they're restricted back down to the rifles. But maybe we can see some greatness with the Galil from Diane.
Obviously, we saw Jennifer in the same position. Oh, is that a flashbang for outside? I'm not sure what that was. An HE grenade through the window? Doesn't really do too much damage there, but I see something new every single day. 2 damage there dealt to Diane, and she's on 98 HP now, but that's besides the issue here for CLG Red. Into this round, they line up the smokes once again to go for that fast set play towards outside. Maybe they'll commit towards the B lower stairs, going in towards that B site. Or are they going to go back to the old faithful A? And that's exactly where Artstar is primed and ready for.
Well, Artstar, is she going to be the catalyst into the round that can cause some commotion? Finds one. Jennifer with the response from the Deagle, but Jennifer is carrying on. She's been able to get the double entry in towards the site Emulate. She's in the elevated angle. Snots takes a ton of damage. And at this point, it's just come down to a 2 versus 3. A retake situation. The bomb isn't down just yet.
2 versus 3. Rein creeps in through the smoke. Diane is holding it. Game of cats and mouse here as Diane gets one. Emulate goes down, and it's all down to Rein. But let's see if when it rains, it pours, as she could sweep this one away. First frag found. The position has been given away now for the star player. She finds the other one. It's the whip from Benita. She makes it happen though, but just about as If Rein kept a rifle out there, that could have been another 1 versus 3 and clutch going in favor of Dig.
It was so close to being just pure perfection there on the retake. Crisp headshots, racking up frags, but at that point it just all goes wrong. Madness nuts. Back into it though, instantaneously now. The newfound confidence trying to use the aggression against them as they bombard towards the A site. They run straight in towards Milk. They take the mickey out of her into this round, and it just comes down to the 2 versus 3. The response from Rein, once again, trying to go for the backdoor play. Molotov off towards main. Kaf is isolated. She has the AWP as well, so it's going to be slightly worse for wear. For her coming back in. They're using that utility, though, trying to isolate the angles. It's going to be that same play once again. The 2v3 on the A site. The Molotov could be critical. If she casts it out in the right place, they have to peek into her. Switches back onto the AUG as well. Her old Fateful, the weapon that she's been so sublime with, charges in. But CLG Red, they get themselves some extra rounds to round out the half. A 10-5 now, finally. Some kind of a buffer. From the position they were in, Snods, it looked worrying. Now it seems like it could be manageable.
Indeed, 10-5 down. CLG Red have to recalibrate themselves going into this CT half. Take that CT pistol, make it 7-10. 3 rounds behind, they can definitely claw it back. We saw it yesterday, actually, in the deciding map between Assassins and CLG Red in the first semi-final of the day. CLG Red were down 5-11, and they brought it back to that 16-13 victory. But that was versus a new team, a looser style, a team that wasn't really prepared to maybe even go that far. And obviously, for CLG Red, it's a lot different going versus Dignitas' T-side than Assassin's T-side. Dig are going to have those rounds where it's heavy executions, where it's defaults into set plays, which can grind out the rounds, and the remaining 6 that they're so close to getting.
Yeah, already keeping me on her toes, doing a little bit of tour de Nuke into this one, but on the entry back towards the site, Jennifer wants to give him a taste of their own medicine on the pistol round. They're looking to finally pick one up, but it's so close. It's come down to the trades, and it all falls on Artstar. But Emmy whips it out of the bag. The USP smackdown as she is laying down the law, the pistol swinger.
CLG Red fighting for their lives in this tournament. Lifeline has been thrown out to them there. They've taken it with both hands as they have the pistol now in their back pocket. Dignitas going to be going for the conservative approach here and just saving. Players towards silo. I imagine they might go for a flash outside and then jump on top of A main, try jump down into A main and swarm. I believe it's Benita they're in towards A main, and this actually could work very well.
Here they all go, charging their way through as the waterfall starts to arrive. However, Benita, she's not really a fan of the play as she wants to take them down in a matter of seconds. They've all been dismantled by the Famases. Emmy will get the last kill once again. That is the end of CAF and the beginning of something new for CLG Red there, 10-7.
Round 18, 7-10. 4 Famases and a single M4 Fremy up against the 5 AK. Oh, I say 5 AK. Rein is keeping me on my toes. 4 AK and single SG investment from Dignitas. Jennifer here, losing her teammate. Benita goes down, and she's taking the long-range duel here versus Rein's SG, and that could be a very poor decision to make. But now that Dignitas have the man lead, they're not going to overface and overstep the mark, which is one of the issues we saw from CLG Red. Instead, they still stick to the plan.
They're going for it again. Jennifer, how she got away with that? Milk should have really got the entry, but Emmy is giving it as well. The M4 coming through with the monstrous spray down. Diane from the elevated angle, proving she's not only up high on the map, but she's high in skill there with that frag. And all of a sudden, it's just Artstar down to the 1-on-2. She's been winning these clutch rounds pretty consistently for the most part. That slower style of CS definitely plays into her strengths. 45 seconds on the clock. She skulks her way around, tiptoeing down. Making her move, setting her gaze towards that lower bomb site, it seems, clearing her angle so she won't have too much time by the time she arrives. And the scary factor for that is CLG Red, at some point, they must catch wind of this and go for the rotation over. Artstar finally committing to the plant now, Snods. She has a flashbang. Smart play to toy with the door. See if they will actually fall for that. She goes for the silent jump up as well. This could actually be incredible. She's played it so smart. She waits for the push to come through. Diane gonna go for the smoke, the double smoke play onto it. She knows the lineup from the plant that she found. That's the initial headshot. Artstar winning another clutch round. It's easy for her.
Playing CLG like fools. Opens the double doors, and that's exactly where CLG thought she was. Jumps on top of the banister there, comes in from behind, gets the drop on the first player, and then wins that spray battle for the final one.
That was her Mona Lisa play, Snods, because I'm in Louvre with that one.
7-11. Pause again. It's going to be Dig. They're going to try and calm themselves down after that ecstatic play. 18 kills for Kath. Once again, been so strong in this grand final. Should really be calling her Decaf at this point. She's taken the energy away from CLG Red.
11-7. This game has had that underlying tone of Dig always somewhat having the overall command. It's been the manner in which they win rounds. As they take this time out to adjust, you can see smiles for the most part. Everyone's still fairly happy.
Happy as can be. Now for their pause, maybe they're trying to work out the best way to distribute their funds, maybe work out the best buy, can they afford the orbs, etc. As it is their first round one on the terrorist side. So let's see what the buy is going to be shaping up to be in just a second. Yeah, so it was the pause to work out the money. You can see it's quite disjointed here. Galil for Rein, MP5 for Emulite, no AWP for her, unfortunately. Even so, it's a better buy than what CLG Red are putting to the table. Scout from Diane going to spot out the first player crossing. Secret stairs are where Dignitas reside currently. Oh, and not for long because they're coming fast here towards B.
Milk. Instant decapitation on the drive-by. Kath locked in Mortal Kombat there. Tagged down with Diane, both of them stuck at about 30 HP. Emmy will get the trade back onto Milk to avenge her fallen sister in arms. It is just the 4-on-4. The double face towards Benita. And it's all starting to crumble, but they're keeping it close. It's at least a 3-on-3 into the round. Dignitas, they're hungry to get the 12th round, but their overconfidence could come back to bite them in the bottom here, potentially. 55 seconds now. Artstar, it's a bold play. She had to push in and try and open this round up. But Goose! She wants to claim back that MVP title. She is not happy with these shenanigans, Snods.
That's the reset. That's exactly what CLG Red were looking for. How the tides have turned from the first map when CLG were unable to win rounds consecutively. And they are the ones facing the constant harsh resets. And how they can enjoy the back seat here. They're the ones with the weaponry. But Dig will have a few of their own. MP5 for Artstar. P250s being the remaining weapon of choice from Dig. No more smokes apart from Emulite's single one. Just flashbangs to try and burst down this play towards ramp.
As the flash is out, Jennifer, though, is completely unfazed by it, and she can just sit there happy as Lowry scoped in with the AUG, smiting them all down. Emmy gets a double kill at the very end as well on that charismatic duo of Milk and Rein. And it does adjust now to 11-9, keeping it close. Another round where Dignitas are slightly going to have to concede it. This game is going to get very tight here, Snods. We have a competitive match on our hands.
Competitive indeed. And not in the way we're expecting. On the desk, I said how it's Goosebreeder and Emmy who are the front runners for CLG Red. However, here in the final, it's Jennifer on 20 kills. Emmy, maybe she can find some confidence in the final. Wait, the bomb's down? It's down. How we found this situation here, Jack? Okay, this is getting very out of hand. Benita with the spam. Gonna work, and it's gonna go through the smoke. There you have it. Jennifer saves the day by keeping Benita safe. Benita came off the bomb there, actually, where the players came out through squeaky door, so maybe that could have ended south. But Dig got the additional $800 across the board for all their 5 players, which is gonna pay its dividends back here with utility.
Well, at least they got the cash, and they can now put themselves in a position to try and deal some damage with that new arsenal. Emulate back on the AWP. CT side, where she's normally very explosive. The T side, let's see how effective it will be. A minute and 30 on the clock here, looking for the opening pick, scoped in towards outside, but Rein uses the AK instead to get the job done.
Five versus 4. Rein with the additional entry, leaving CLG Red in a bit of a predicament. I'm playing passive here, spotting the cross, but that's a hard shot to land. Ooh, not for her. Ooh. Unable to get the second there onto Emuletes. 50 seconds here now as we're into the equal affair. 4 versus 4. Make it a 4 versus 3 as Diane misses the flick. Emmy here, though, with a great position towards B. She can open the double doors to deny the plant if Dig decide to opt for the B site. Whoa.
Oh. Now this is a little bit awkward. Calf defending towards the ramp. I'm ready to rock and roll as well. It's back into the 2 versus 1 now. 20 seconds on the clock. It's a free plant towards the A site from Rein. That's just what she's going to do. Bombard her way around. Emmy hot on her heels as she sprints her way over. She's got a defuse kit and a flashbang. The AK to try and slay with. Let's see if she can make some bodies hit the DECK. Pushes her way out. No, she cannot. Emulate. And the AWP is too much.
This would be a good time for a tactical pause here. Yeah, there we have it. Pause is going to be called by CLG Red as when you look at the money, 7,000 and 6,000 for 2 of the players, but for 2 more, there's only $1,500 left in their bank balance. Sparkley's going to be on the phone fairly shortly. In terms of money as well, they can drop over an org for an additional player. This is the tough point, right? Jack, they're probably discussing the importance of the AWP. It can be dropped over by Jennifer to Diane, or instead she can buy an M4, maybe buy a FAMAS as well for someone else, and Benita can drop over the extended weaponry as well to another player. Big discussion and a big argument to be made whether or not the AWP for Diane would be worth it. However, for CLG Red, she has been impactful in finding the entry kills and the important ones to set her team up on the CT side to try and take the rounds once they do get the lead with her opening picks. But for me and for my money, getting Jennifer comfortable and with an M4 or an AUG is probably the best decision to make. 24 kills for her as she leads the kill numbers on the scoreboard in the whole server.
Yeah. She's been the one just going absolutely savage to this game. Hitting everyone with the backhanders, hasn't given a damn. She needs some help from her teammates though. If they can step up, put themselves into a position, they can try and carry on from where they are. Unfortunately, they're back down to just the Deagles and the MP9 on Benita. The Dignitas Killer Bees are on the swarm though. And they're looking to try and take down their opposition into this round. Outside control as they peer their way through. They have a ton of utility. Rein scoping out the situation. If they do want to just try and take the firefights in a situation where they have the advantage, they can take the aim duels and not have to worry about being up close against pistols. Knowing the economy's in a bad state right now, it's probably the best bet.
Execution being primed, but it's only the fake. Oh, just a ruse to keep CLG Red on their toes. Kath making the play. You see, this makes a lot of sense. Benita's called, there's no one coming towards A. CLG Red have seen smokes towards Secret. They're expecting it to be a fake where all 5 players go down Secret stairs and there's a little bit of a fake there towards A. And that's why Benita pushes for that information. But she maybe gets a bit more than she bargained for as the Deagle able to find 2 headshots. Jennifer keeping the kill tally high as she finds 2 and brings this into a winnable scenario now for Dig.
3 versus 3, 30 seconds on the clock. They're going in for the play on the B-bomb site. Calf slowly lurking behind just in case anyone was sitting on the ramp angle, and she can try and cut off that rotation. Rein toying with them, opening the doors. They refocus towards the site, giving Calf the opportunity to deal damage. They didn't know about Emmy's location. They will at least get 1 frag, but they have time to plant the bomb unless Diane can. The Knight spams through the smoke. If she would have been there a second faster, there would have been potential she could have ended the round right there. Instead, she's left to try and clutch it in a 1v2. They are both tremendously low. They've got 23 health between the 2 of them. Diane has no armor, no utility. Just an inkling of where they are. But she now has a head on the floor. It's Emulite. It's gone rolling off her body. Time's ticking away, though. She doesn't have a kit. She's got to go for this if she wants to defuse it. It has to be a full commit. She will get the shot off.
Does she have time? I don't think so.
I don't think she has.
Let's see then. It's going to be close. There you have it. Dignitas take it 13-10. It looked nearly so winnable there. The spam through the door. Perfect crosshair placement to land the headshot onto Emulite. But unfortunately, it's all frivolous, it's all futile, as in the end it comes down to those clutch seconds, and seconds in Counter-Strike feel like years. 13-10 now into the 24th round.
A minute and 38 seconds here as we're straight into this one. The ramp push going to be the play, it seems. Emmy, she's got to defend well, and the repositioning isn't the correct play. Only gets the 1-for-1 as Emulite will trade it back. Diane misses the shot as well. She needs to hit these right now. It's the most important time. And luckily, Jennifer is still doing what she does best with that AUG. Takes down Artstar, rips her way through her, and leaves the T's with only 3 players. They've got a minute to work with, though. There's still time. The bomb has just gone down. They've got the site control, and it will have to be a retake for COG Red. They have 1 kit in their possession, a ton of utility. But the T's have confidence, Nods. That's the difference.
And confidence is Counter-Strike. 2 versus 4. Excuse me, but excuse Rein as she is being rude today. CLG Red are trying to take what she thinks is hers, and that is the Intel Championship. She may have just done it. There's no time. 14-10. The 1 versus 3 from Rein as she clutches it this time round.
Tremendous play. The confidence on the face. She knew she had to commit as long as she killed the bomb planter. She went straight for it, killed the diffuser. 14-10 now. Round 25. This is getting hard for CLG. The more rounds that are just slowly stolen away from them. Every time. 2 rounds back-to-back as well towards the B site with, what, a millisecond towards the defuse that could have been the difference maker.
Seems like fate at this point. That Dignitas are to be crowned the back-to-back Intel Challenge champions. Diane, though, still keeping her team in this game as Kath comes around the corner. Benita hits the deck, 4 versus 4. Ooh, a little bit of a BM there. She shoots the body from Benita. Remaining players from Dig now situated outside lobby. They're anticipating the push from CLG Red as they need information as to where the hell Dignitas are. And I tell you what, Jack, it may not be where CLG Red think.
I'll tell you where Dig are. They're living in CLG's head rent-free right now, Snods. A minute on the clock here. As they set their gaze over towards the A site, they have utility. Calf has another frag as well. And here comes the backstab Goose Breeder. If it's going to happen, she needs to be the one to instigate it. It's a 2 versus 4. But Calf is just roaming around, killing everyone. Emmy will get the trade. Can she really pick up this clutch round? The 1 versus 3 delves away in towards the bomb site. They're all going to peek at the same time. There was a slight chance, but it was quickly cut away from Dignitas. 15-10. 1 round is all it requires, and CLG Red, they do not have the economy to fight this one on a fair stance.
5 match points for Dignitas to work with. Money at this point for them means nothing. Rounds are the commodity. In terms of ADR on the server right now, Jennifer, 122 ADR as she lock horns with Kath, who too has 122 ADR, both on 28 kills, both of the exact same damage average per round. But right now it's Dignitas with the most rounds, and that's all that really matters, as that's what's remembered.
That's true. The victor will take the spoils of this one. And it's looking like Dignitas might be our new champions again, carrying on 2 years on the trot, showing that they know who to pick when it comes down to having a new 5th, because Kaf has had an amazing display. And at this point, I mean, if she finds 2 more frags into this one, it would be the 30 bomb to round it out, and wouldn't that be a sight?
This is the final pause from CLG Red, as they do not want to make this the final round of their tournament. MP9 for Goose Breeder, 2 UMPs as well for players on CLG Reds. The buy is far from perfect. Right now their coach has to be giving a Rocky level inspirational speech here, because CLG Red have to get back up after being knocked down.
That's the end of the pause now. That was it. It needs to have sunk in. They need to have reset and have changed their ideology if they're going to be able to pick this one up, Snods, because this 1 round decides so much. Round 26. Dignitas, all rifles, all aggression. Outside control is once again going to be the key to success for them as they start to bombard their way around. Kath catches off the first. He's looking for the 30. She won't get it into this round, but her teammates might be able to do her justice and close this down for her. Artstar and Milk find a killer piece. Die and Emmy. It's just up to them. A 2 versus 4. The bomb is planted, time ticking away, no kits in their hands. If they're going to go for this, they need to push right now and try and make this play work. So many angles, so many crossfires. Surely it's impossible. There we go, Dignitas. They take it. They were not content with winning last year. They wanted to win again, and they have done it. 2 years on the trot for Dignitas, proving that they are the best there is when it comes down to Counter-Strike at the minute. Absolutely living the dream, Snods.
Back-to-back Intel champions. What a fitting storyline as well for Kath. Replaced on CLG Red by Goose Breeder. The switch happened, but the winning didn't change. Once again, they'll lift and hoist the Intel Challenge Trophy, and this time with a new face on their team. Kath, the MVP of the finals. Breathtaking performance there from her, but what consummate professionals and people to inspire the next generation of female gamers. They were so professional and so graceful with their win last year, but it's going to be happening a second time around. And the question is, where is the limit for this team?
Where does it end? Are they going to be able to carry this on for another year? 1 roster move was all it took. Kath coming into the team. People were worried if losing Goose Breeder could affect them. She was the MVP last year, but I'm pretty sure Kath might have secured herself the MVP for this year's because she dominated Snods. 29 kills in that final map.
CLG Red, they have to leave the tournament with a head held high. Last year going out in the group stages, and here they are now in the grand finals. Yes, they fell short at the final hurdle, but the improvement, the transition they made in 1 year is monumental. And again, where can they find themselves? At Copenhagen Games, WSG as well, and the next Intel Challenge next year.
Ridiculous stuff. Dignitas just on top of the game right now, showing that they are unstoppable. And you can see that was the ideology behind it, the strategy, the amount of time they've been pumping into it, the mindset they have and the way they play. It all paid off. But now let's get that insight. We're over on stage with Freya. Take it away.
Thank you so much, guys. I'm here with an incredibly emotional team, Dignitas. Emily, you are now the proud owner of this trophy, a two-time Intel Challenge champion. Can you put into words how that feels?
It feels really good. We work so hard all year long, and we're just so blessed with an amazing organization who has blessed us to help us along this journey and getting better. We're a family, and I just want to thank everyone for supporting us on this journey. And anyone who wants to be a pro gamer or anything you want to do, you can do it. You just have to set your mind to it, and we're proof of that.
That's incredible. You have so many amazing fans. You can see the crowd absolutely out here for you. You guys, you're not just a strong team unit just inside the game. Outside the game, I saw you guys walking through the green room. There was an incredible clip from Kath on the screen. You guys were hyping each other up. Do you think that's what helped you take these wins and look so dominant as teams? You were just such good friends together.
Yeah, I mean, you have to have chemistry in-game and out, and that's exactly what we're doing. So we just have each other's back all the time, and it shows you can become victorious that way. You
look absolutely incredible. I just want to pick up on the maps. Mirage, that was CLG's map pick, but you look so polished on that. Were you expecting them to pick that, and you prepared strats for that?
Yeah, we were prepared. We kind of know their map pool, but ours is a lot bigger, so we're pretty much prepared on every map, so that showed the difference there.
Now, I know there's one thing left you want to do. You want to get your hands on that glorious trophy. Guys, go on, go and do that trophy lift. Give it up for your Intel Challenge champions, two-time Intel Challenge champions, Dignitas. Incredible grand final we had here. Lottie, what do you make of that one over at the desk?
Thank you very much, Freya. I do think that is quite incredible. What an amazing run for this Dignitas team. 2 times Intel Challenge champions. What a thing to be able to put in your bio on Twitter, huh? I mean, that's pretty incredible if you ask me. And of course, lifting that trophy at the end must have been the best feeling ever for this team. And they deserve it. You know, they played their hearts out. We saw time and time again that they gave it to every single team that took them on that stage, and they left nothing behind. What did you make of it as a whole, Hobby?
Yeah, I think they absolutely deserve their win. You know, this final was unfortunately a little bit one-sided, but we had a top 4 that was incredible. The semis were just amazing, and Dignitas was just the team that was the most ready today.
Definitely. Potter, how did you find that final?
My goodness, I wish that we had a little bit more closer series, but I think Dignitas they were so dominant this entire tournament. We've been talking about it on the desk all weekend long, but they are a well-oiled machine. They're just, as Emily said in the interview, they have each other's back, and they're a team, and they really focus on the team aspect of Counter-Strike instead of the individual skills, and it really helped them out.
Yep. It definitely did. So let's take a look now at the bracket. I can barely speak, I'm that excited. I cannot believe this finals just happened. We've had the longest semi-finals ever, and then suddenly the finals just happened literally in the last half an hour. So that's crazy. There we go. We've got our final bracket on the screen. As you can see in the semi-finals, you can hear them celebrating behind us as well. We've got Assassins and CLG Red. They faced each other. CLG Red pushed forward. Besiktas versus Dignitas, and that also went to a game 3-2 with the maps being Inferno, and then of course CLG Red and Dignitas, but unfortunately we didn't get to that map 3 because Dignitas just looked way too strong for that CLG Red roster. Do you know what? I just don't think it is down to how the CLG Red are as a roster in terms of their talent and skill and their strat. I just don't think it was their day. I've definitely seen better from them, from looking into the past last year, looking at the way they played in the semi-finals in the group stages. I just feel like it really depends on what team shows up at the tournament on that particular day, and this just wasn't the one for CLG Red.
It wasn't, but also I think that Dignitas, they just stuck to their game plan. Like, they didn't have to overperform. They went in as a unit and everything was working because you know what angle to clear, what to do, what to flash, and they just did it. And that's why CLG, I think, really couldn't find a way to counter every single perfection of Dig. There was no individual craziness, no performance that stood out from CLG, and they needed that spark to come back, and they never found it.
They never did find it, and it was so hard for CLG Red to even attempt to find it. Dignitas' crossfires were on point. Going back to even Mirage, their mid control was so spectacular, and I thought, I wonder if on Nuke their CT setups were going to be, and it was even better. Their outside control, they consistently had a 3-man crossfire outside. CLG Red, their reactions, they didn't know how to respond to it. Every corner that they went, Dignitas was there with either 2 or 3 men just ready to hold on to that choke point. And yeah, it was really, really nice to watch from Dignitas' end.
I just want to talk about the T side on that map because it is a struggle on Nuke. It's a massive struggle, and I felt like, you know, Dignitas really showed a dominant CT side, of course, and CLG were really struggling there. I felt like, you know, they were struggling with their corners. They weren't flashing where they should be. Small, minor mistakes that were just really impacting their gameplay. And then Dignitas, when they were actually on T side, they performed. They did well.
Well,
yeah,
and I mean, Nuke, it's such a CT-sided map. 10-5 is a great half.
Absolutely.
You could argue. And CLG came back on CT side by winning that CT pistol, quickly making a 10-7 half. So really, on this second map, it could have gone the long distance, and CLG Red had every opportunity to bring it back.
There was a really crucial round that Artstar won a 1v2, and she closed the match that round. She might not know it, but she rewatched the replay. If she doesn't win this, I think it's a new game. It could have even went into a third map. She wins this, and I think CLG Red is extremely demoralized. There was not much confidence throughout the whole map, and after that 1v2, it was over, I thought.
I remember watching that. My heart was in my mouth. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. It was like a mouth